Artisan's Playhouse, where we were invited to come and make our own nerdy, geeky rugs. I'm super excited. I'm actually going to be making a rug, working with the Mizucon team, and trying to film a vlog and promotional stuff for this. So it's going to be kind of crazy. It's going to be kind of fun, and I can't wait to take you guys on this journey. So let's begin.
Whenever you guys are going to start tufting, you need two of the same color. That's just for the thickness, so you're filling in more when you're opening up the holes. So we're always going to get two, and in this style that we're going to do, we're going to get them from the middle. So make sure that whenever you get new colors, you get the yarn from the middle and it pulls out from there, because if it pulls out from the sides, it has too much tension, it'll pull right out of the gun. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys something that's really simple, but you're probably going to have to do a lot, and you're going to hate it by the end if you don't pay too much attention to this small detail, okay? So I'm going to show you how to thread the gun. Right, so I like to sit down and hold it with my knees so that I can use both hands to thread. We're going to go ahead and wrap the two together, spin it a little, and you're just going to put it through this first loop. Right in through there. And then with the looper that's in all the boxes, we're going to go ahead and put it from the bottom up, okay? Once it's there, we'll put the two strings in and we'll just pull them down. Okay. And it's threaded. Very important that whenever you go to start, you make sure that that you don't grab your yarn, okay? That'll instantly unthread it. You got to make sure you're not stepping on the yarn. You got to make sure that it's not tangled with your cable, okay? So it's very important to be aware of all those things, because if not, it'll unthread and you'll have to do that instantly, okay? I'm going to go over safety precautions. So the frame does have nails all around the edges, so be careful when you're working on them, and most of the frames have an extra inch of wood under the nails. So when you're tufting, avoid those areas or go very slow around there so that you don't crash against it and so you don't hurt yourself, okay? The gun itself has moving gears, all right? So if you have long hair, I would suggest to pick it up because it will get tangled. Actually, there's some hair here that got ripped off somebody's head. It's probably mine. It's happened to me a few times. So be careful with the gears if you have long hair. Maybe pick it up. Don't put your fingers in the gears. And this is a fast-moving needle, so don't put your hands around there. I want you guys to make it a habit that as soon as you pull out of the fabric, you turn off the gun, okay? So you're working on it, you stop to think, to get a drink, to get a snack. Anytime you stop, as soon as you pull out, it's just instinct. All right, your finger just turns off the gun, especially if you're threading it, has to be off, okay? Handing it to someone, anytime off, unless you're actively working on the rug, okay? So as far as tufting, there's a few very important rules. So whenever the gun is moving, right, you have to be moving. So if you stay in one spot with the gun moving, it will eventually and sometimes rapidly open a hole, which doesn't mean that your rug is done for. It just means it's gonna have a little bald spot. And sometimes people will either make a little patch on the side and add it later on, or put a bow tie, some kind of pom-pom to mask it. But for the most part, it also doesn't show too much, because as long as it's a small hole, the yarn will go kind of around the hole and hide it, okay? So, if the gun's moving, you're moving. Also, you always have to have pressure. If it's not looking like this, it's because you don't have enough pressure, and you're gonna have stitches that aren't gonna go all the way through. You're gonna have to pass it another time, and that's more chances of damaging the rug. So the more you go through, because these guns have a scissor that cuts the yarn, it also sometimes cuts parts of the fabric. So if you go too many times over the same spot, you'll ruin it. So you want to try to always keep the pressure, always move as you go. All right, and very important, wherever you're moving, this has to be pointing. Imagine a little arrow pointing that way. So if I'm going to go to the right, I have to go point it to the right. If I want to go to the left, it has to point to the left. If I want to go down, I have to point it down. But if I'm gonna go down, I'd rather pull out and go up instead. It's a lot easier than being like this, okay, guys? All right, so I'm gonna show you guys two different kinds of stitches now. All right. All right. Well, that one was moving way too fast. Okay, and then. All right, so you can see the difference in these two. Ignore this. This is maybe wasn't pushing enough here. So this is moving too fast, and this is how you want to do it, okay? So if you try to rush the process, you're gonna have to do double the amount of lines because it's not filling. It's less stitches per inch. So you're gonna have to either go right on top or right next to it, and that causes the yarn sometimes to be uneven on the right side of the piece, which is the other side. We work on the back. All right, so you want to keep it consistent, and if you keep it nice and consistent like this, you'll have to do less lines. You won't have to go over other lines, and it'll be especially good if you're doing colors that you don't want to mix, because since it'll be so thick, you'll be able to leave a good amount of space so that the colors don't intertwine. All right, and if you have a nice thick line, you could use this metal marker as the guide to use to make the perfect amount of space between your two stitches. So I'll put this metal marker onto this line here, and then I'll start twisting and follow that line, and then that will be a good space. But either way, what you guys could do is you can look in the back and feel it, and then see, okay, maybe I still need a little more, maybe I went too fast, it's not thick enough, and so on, okay? So if you're doing turns, which I don't recommend doing turns only for your outline, because you'll do all your outline first, and then once you do your outline, you're gonna break everything into straight lines, because straight lines are a lot easier than turning. But if you are turning, I definitely recommend, and this is how I always do it, using the pulse method. So as we go, we pulse while we do whatever we're gonna do. So if you need to take a break, oh, that turn is coming up, okay, be careful, you know? Because if you just try to run through a turn, I mean, there was no line here, but if I drew a line and I try to run through it, I'm probably not gonna be on the line, you know? Versus like if I go slow, if I go slow, I can go right next to it and have a nice, like, precise run. If I try to go fast,
you're just an expert. So this is gonna be my rug. Out, okay. stuff here. Unfortunately, this ended up being an overnight process of letting the glue dry, and so I do not have any footage of us like cutting down the rugs and putting the backing and whatnot, but they came out so cool. Thank you so much to Ruben and the rest of the staff of Artisan's Playhouse for allowing us to come and make these amazing nerdy rugs. I can't wait to see what you guys do at our Mizucon 2022 show. Be sure to click the link down below to go to mizucon.com and get your slot today, because this is an amazing experience to do. Have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next vlog.